Now that you've started, let me help you avoid the 3 mistakes that slow most people down right here, because you already did the hardest part. You began. Most people stay stuck for months, sometimes years. And the strange part is, it really looks like being stuck from the outside. Life keeps moving, work gets done, the house runs, weekends come and go, but in the background, the same garden stays exactly where it was. The same empty corner, the same tired plants, the same area you meant to fix last spring and the spring before that. People keep waiting for more time, waiting for better weather, waiting until they feel more motivated, waiting until they know exactly what to do. And while they wait, another season passes, then another. That's how years disappear. Not through one big mistake, but through small delays repeated over and over again. Walking past the same problem so many times they begin to feel normal. Telling yourself you'll deal with it later until later becomes a habit. But you made a move, and that separates you from most people than you realize. You decided this season would be different. You stopped letting the space sit in the background. You stopped accepting good enough. You chose progress over postponing, and that matters. Because the moment you move, something powerful begins. Momentum. And momentum changes more gardens than motivation ever will. Motivation feels exciting for a day. Momentum keeps going when the excitement fades. Motivation buys plants on impulse. Momentum makes smart decisions in the right order. Motivation starts 10 things. Momentum finishes what matters. So don't underestimate what you've already done. You didn't just start improving a garden. You broke a pattern that keeps most people stuck for years. And once momentum starts, the next step becomes easier. Then suddenly, the space that felt impossible begins to transform. The first mistake, trying to do everything at once. This is where many people lose all the momentum they just created. They finally decide to improve the garden, then immediately turn it into a race. One trip to the garden center becomes 3. They buy plants before knowing where they should go. They start digging in one corner, then abandon it to work on another. They move pots, trim shrubs, buy soil, order tools, start a new bed, all in the same weekend. And by Sunday night, they're exhausted. Money has been spent, time has disappeared, but the space still feels unfinished. That's frustrating, because it feels like a lot happened, yet nothing truly moved forward. Better gardens are rarely built in chaos. They're built in sequence. One smart move first, then the next. Maybe the first move is fixing drainage so plants can thrive. Maybe it's clearing what no longer belongs there. Maybe it's creating one clean focal area that changes how the whole space feels. Maybe it's improving soil before buying a single new plant. Those steps may seem smaller, but they create momentum that lasts. When people rush, they often pay twice. They buy the wrong things, redo work that already did, replace plants that were set up to fail, and worst of all, they start believing the garden is complicated. Usually it isn't. It was just approached in the wrong way. When you slow down and follow the right sequence, your money goes further. Your weekends feel lighter, decisions become easier, and progress becomes visible much faster. Because the fastest path is really doing everything now. It's doing the right thing. The second mistake, thinking nothing is happening because you can't see it yet. This catches a lot of people right after they begin. They make smart decisions, they improve the soil, they plant properly, they water consistently, they do the right things, then a week goes by, maybe 2, and because there isn't some dramatic transformation overnight, they start doubting everything. They think, did I waste money? Did I choose the wrong plants? Should I change it again? Should I buy something else? This is especially common in spring, because spring growth can look quiet at first. What many people don't realize is that roots establish before the top growth explodes. Before you see fuller leaves, stronger stems, fresh color, or fast growth above ground, the plant is busy doing most of the important work below it. It's anchoring, reaching, adapting to the soil, building the system that supports everything you'll enjoy later. So while you may not see dramatic change above ground, important work is already happening below it. And this applies to more than plants. The same is true for a garden overall. When you correct structure, improve soil, reduce crowding, and make smarter choices, The space is establishing before it starts shining. That means patience isn't passive. It's part of the process. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do after making a good decision is give it enough time to work. Don't dig things up too soon. Don't replace things out of panic. Don't assume silence means failure, because many gardens are ruined not by neglect, but by interrupting progress too early. Don't mistake quiet progress for no progress. Often the most valuable growth is happening before you can see it. The third mistake, turning the garden into another burden. This happens more often than people realize. Something that was meant to improve your life slowly becomes another item on the list. Another thing to manage, another thing to worry about, another place where you feel behind. You look outside and instead of feeling peace, you feel pressure. What still needs pruning? What hasn't been planted? What should be cleaned? What isn't growing fast enough? And suddenly, the garden starts feeling like work again. But you didn't start this to create more stress. You started because you wanted something better, more calm, more beauty, a better feeling when you come home after a long day, a place to sit with the coffee, a place to breathe for 10 quiet minutes, a place your family can enjoy with you. That's why if it starts feeling heavy again, simplify. Pull back from the noise. You do not need to do everything. You do not need perfection. You do not need a magazine garden by the next weekend. Maybe you need fewer plants, not more. Maybe you need easier choices. Maybe you need one clean area that feels unfinished instead of 5 half-done projects. Maybe you need systems that reduce maintenance, not add to it. Because the garden should give energy back to you, not just more from you. It should lower your stress, not raise it. It should make home feel better, not busier. And when you build it around real life instead of realistic expectations, that's when the garden finally becomes what you wanted all along. If you avoid those 3 mistakes, you'll notice something powerful. Things begin to feel easier. Not because you forced the garden into shape overnight, but because you stopped working against the process. The space starts improving naturally. Areas feel cleaner. Plants begin settling in. The garden starts looking more connected, more intentional, more alive. Even small changes begin to carry more impact, and something else changes too. Your confidence grows. You stop second-guessing every decision. You stop wondering if you're wasting time or money. You begin trusting the process because now you can see movement that matters more than people think. Because confidence creates consistency. And consistency is what transforms space. Then small wins begin to stack. One area starts looking better, then another. A corner that bothered you for months suddenly feels solved. The front entrance feels more welcoming. The backyard becomes somewhere where you actually want to sit. Momentum builds quietly but powerfully. And a few weeks from now, when evenings and warmer days are longer, when the light stays out longer or later, and people naturally spend more time outside, you'll feel the difference. Instead of looking out and thinking, I still need to deal with that, you'll step outside and enjoy what you created. You'll be grateful you started when you did, because many people wait until summer to think about their garden. And by then, they're already late. But you gave yourself the gift of timing, and timing often makes the difference between spending summer fixing problems or living in the space you wanted all along. I've worked in Vancouver gardens for over 25 years, and if there's one thing experience teaches you, it's this. Most great gardens aren't created in one dramatic weekend. They're not built through panic buying. They're not built by copying something online and hoping it works here. And they're rarely the result of doing more and more. They're built through a few right decisions, made at the right time, the right plant in the right place, improving the soil before adding more problems on top of it, knowing when to prune, when to wait, when to simplify, understanding how Vancouver rain, shade, clay soil, and changing seasons affect what will actually succeed. That's what people often don't see. The best gardens usually look effortless. But behind that feeling is good timing and smart choices. A lot of mistakes can be avoided when someone helps you see what matters first. And a lot of money can be saved when you stop doing things twice. That's why experience matters, not to make things complicated, but to make them simpler, faster, and easier for you. If you've already read or if you've already started and wanted help with the smartest next step, send me a message or stop by DH Garden Center and have a chat with us. And if this was helpful, you can simply type "ready" below and it'll help you keep the momentum going. I'm Darrell, and I'll see you in the garden.